you may notice that my windshield is very foggy right now. And that's because I was just hiking in the rain for the last several hours, and it's cold outside, and I'm wearing short sleeves because my jacket is soaking wet. And it is cold in this Jeep, and I don't want to be cold, and I still got another 45 minutes till I get home. And I can't turn the defrost on because Chrysler, in their infinite wisdom, made it so that both the defrost and the foot setting on the HVAC control panel enable the air conditioner, whether or not the AC is switched on or off. And you can't disable that. That is hard baked into the circuitry of this thing. I understand what they're doing. If you have the AC running, it will dry the air prior to it going through the heater and then being blown onto the window, thus doing a much better job of defogging. However, it also means that if you're like me and you've bypassed the heater core because the heater core sprung a leak and you don't want to spend 5 days disassembling your entire dash and potentially killing yourself with an errant static shock hitting an airbag just to replace your heater core, and you live someplace where if you don't have heat, you're not going to die, you're just going to be very uncomfortable most of the time, then you don't want to, just turn your AC on when it's like in the 40s and 50s out. Just to defog your window. So you have to decide, do I want to die because I can't see anything because my window is fucking fog shut? Or do I want to just be really, really cold? And so I'm really, really cold right now. But anywho, I digress. There is a hack that you can go in here and either mask or disable the circuitry and bypass it in there to just have the AC only work when you press the AC button, because that's what it's for. So I'm going to do that if I can somehow survive and get home like this. So I'll catch you if I'm not dead. All right, so we survived the journey home, and I'm here in the car, and I'm just got some tools in here, and we're going to take this HVAC control panel out of the car and go work on it, and we're going to disable the contact, which automatically turns on the air conditioner whenever you set this to here, here, or here. So without any further ado, let's get to pulling this out. So first thing I like to do is, one, put the key in the ignition so that I can disable the parking interlock, then put the e-brake on, and then put this all the way down into first, and then that gives me plenty of access room up here. And also make sure you don't have your four-wheel drive up. You gotta pull this little tray out here, which collects dust. And actually, you don't have to pull that out, but that's the screw you need to get out in order to be able to pull, leave this tray off, and then I'll report back, but I'm pretty certain that guy needs to come out to be able to pull this bezel out of here to then be able to get that HVAC out. So I'll cut to when I have this sucker out of here. Okay, so that's all it was. It was just that one screw holding it in, and you just pull it up from the bottom and out, and the radio stays in place, and this sucker comes forward, and I believe I just need to unplug this harness here as well as that harness there, and then I think you can take this white cover off of the back of the HVAC unit without unplugging the whole vacuum control system, because I believe if you screw with that too much, you will rip the hoses or the connectors, and then you'll have a vacuum leak, which is never fun. So I'm going to get these harnesses out of here and try and get this back cover off, which I don't know if it's going to be easier for me to take these 4 screws out to take the actual unit out of this bezel first, or if it's going to be easier to get, there's a couple of screws, I believe it's these 3 screws, and I think that's it, and then a couple of clips right here to pry up with a screwdriver. And I think this whole white cover comes out the back of this, and then you can get at the guts of this, and that's what we want to work on. All right, so this guy is out of here, and there's that white thing. I would recommend taking this unit out of here first, because it's hard to get to these clips down in here. I was able to finagle it, but your mileage may vary. Also, you do have to undo the cigarette lighter just to be able to get this out. I kept this all together just so that I had more to work with while I was in the car and didn't have to take it to the shop. But this is the actual knob that you have to deal with. And also, when you put this back together, make sure that, you know, like for me, I set this all the way to the off position, so that when I put it back in, I can make sure it lines up with the keyed vacuum modulator doohickey jobber guy manifold in there, because otherwise you're gonna have a bad time. So, but this is the actual contactor in there that is bridging around and making contact. So if you see right here, when it's like this, you have a contact that is on this strip right here, the second pin from the bottom. That strip goes all the way down here, over this way, up, and into that tab right there. This, from what I have told, and by the way, this entire thing is just stolen directly off of the Lost Jeeps forum, because I was about to dive into this rabbit hole and I went, someone has got to have also been pissed about this before and fixed it, and I was 100% correct. Someone has actually come up with a modification for this. So that's what I'm doing right here. So this contactor, when it is in any of the positions from here to here, if we look, oh, that's the feet. If it's anywhere in there, it's here, it's not. So if it's any of those positions, it is making contact across that board. So this is the culprit right there. Or I guess it's this guy right here is the culprit. So what we need to do is just keep that from making contact with this, or keep power from going through here into the AC. The thing is, we can't just like unplug this wire, I'm pretty certain, because this also has the button for the AC control. So you'll lose all AC control if you just pull that wire, you know, out of the harness. So what we have to do is block voltage from going through here, from completing through this knob, and only leave the voltage going through that switch, which means we have to leave this pin unmolested, and we have to have continuity from here to here. So we have two options, the destructive and the non-destructive. I'm going to try the non-destructive first. What you can do is, this is all covered in dielectric grease, is you can come in here, wipe off all this grease, degrease this bar, and then just put a piece of electrical tape right across this contactor. And you know, you can just come in here with an X-Acto knife. Actually, it can, if you see this wire, this line down here, I believe that is for the lights, just on the dash, whenever you have the lights running. When you push a button, the lights come on, or when you turn the dome light, some of this stuff gets rear illumination. So that actually has no contact with the contactor. So we can cover that one just fine. And this guy right here, well, it gets contacted on this side. So all we really need to do is just plop a piece of tape right here, and it won't interfere with any of the other contacts. And we can just block voltage until eventually maybe the tape will wear out. And at that point, you just pull it out and just do it again. So that's what I'm going to go try first. And if that works, great. Then I won't worry about it. And if that doesn't work, then what you can do is you can come in here with either a really fine Dremel, if you have that kind of skill, and you can cut this copper strip right there, and well, anywhere in here. So either here or here, anywhere you like. Here is probably the easiest spots, just because you're gonna have to pry it up a little bit. And then what you can do is solder a piece of wire from anywhere here after this pin, and just right onto this tab right here, or right onto there. Probably easiest to do this tab or somewhere all the way up here. And then just run a piece of insulated wire, you know, over here and out of the way, that is, you know, outside of the path of the contactor, and that'll bridge the gap. So then this contactor won't be able to complete the AC circuit, but the AC circuit will still be complete from here to here, which means that the button will still work. So without any further ado, I'm gonna go get some degreasing agent. I'm probably just gonna get some isopropyl alcohol and just clean off this dielectric grease from down here. And I'm just gonna stick, and this is name brand electrical tape, so it should stick pretty well. Just gonna stick a blob of tape right down here, just from there to there. And that should prevent the AC from switching on when I have it in any, well, from this knob at all, period. And it'll only be on when I press the button, because it's a button. Why did you take that control away from the fucking operator, Chrysler? Alright, so here's what I've done. I just took a piece of electrical tape, cut about an inch long section, and just plopped it down in there. I tried to line it up so that it didn't go too far past the actual track. And then I just pressed it in with just find something flat, and I just pressed it and made sure made good contact. Oh, and this is after I cleaned it with 95% isopropyl alcohol. That seemed to take all the dielectric grease off in one pass. And then after I got that good in there and I felt like it was affixed properly, I just squirted a little bit more dielectric grease on there, just to lubricate the glide. So that should be good. Okie dokie, that's all back together. All still works. So let's cut the car on and let the AC do its thing if it's gonna do it, and we'll just turn this sucker and we got air. So I didn't break anything. Let's see, do we have foot air? We have foot air. Let's see, do we hear an AC compressor click? I didn't hear one. Let's see. And I mean, it's cold air, but it's also cold outside, so there is that. Think we fixed it. Here's the real test. We'll hear the clutch on the AC compressor click when I press this, if the AC is not on. Oh, I heard it. All right, so I think we did it. Fantastic. I finally have defrost that I can use without having to freeze myself out in the winter. Fantastic. And if I want to turn the AC on to defog the window faster, I have that option because I can just press the AC button like God intended. I am ever so slightly more safe on the roads in winter in Theseus here, and I hope this video helped you. If it did, consider going down there and giving it a like. Comment, tell me your least favorite thing about these fucking pigs of a fucking Jeep. And if you want to see me beating the tar out of this Jeep some more, you gotta subscribe. So go down there and smash that big gray button. And until next time, I'm out.